Join me today as I share with you the beginnings of my journey with fibromyalgia.
We're flying high, floating somewhere up in the clouds. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real, cause when we're doing our thing, we're like wheels that won't stop turning. So take me on a trip now, trip.
So the last few days while I've been in pain with my fibromyalgia, I've been trying to learn a little bit more, and I came across a YouTube video. It's dated August 16th, 2017, so it's not that current, but the information in it is really phenomenal. And it's written by a Daniel J Clauw, MD. He's the chronic pain specialist in I think Michigan, at the University of Michigan Research Center. And it's called Chronic Pain, Is It All in Your Head? And it's really long, so I was able to just plug it in and listen to it while I was laying in bed, and there wasn't really any need to visually see it. So I just listened, and basically what he's saying is, if you do have fibromyalgia and it's correctly identified, you do have pain, and you have it most likely throughout your whole body. And it may have come on in slow increments, maybe first starting in your bladder, maybe first starting in a nerve on your hip or your knee. And you've seen different specialists for each thing, and I was laughing to myself because I'm thinking, yeah, that's me. I've been to the bladder doctor and got a diagnosis. I've been to the GI doctor and got a diagnosis. I've been to the rheumatologist and got diagnoses. I've been to my primary doctor and got diagnosis. I've been to my neurologist and got diagnoses. And they are all valid diagnoses, but they also all will be intensified when you have fibromyalgia. So when I was younger, probably in my early 14, 15 years of life, when I started menstruating, the pain was unbearable, and literally unbearable. And the nurses and the doctors, they didn't really help me at all. My mom didn't understand because she didn't have that situation. It wasn't painful for her. But I remember passing out. I remember being in such pain. Luckily, my papa, he understood. From his first wife, she had some issues, so he was around, and he knew me or my sister was ailing with the time of the month. He would make sure to bring us some hot soup or a heating pad, or ask if we needed anything. So that was very, very helpful. But at a very young age, I was diagnosed with endometriosis, which a lot of women are had some surgeries to remove it, had children, and eventually another surgery after children, and then it kind of went away. But in its place flared up other things, interstitial cystitis of the bladder, trying to think where else, but the pain in the hands started when about 20 years ago, when my littlest one was probably 2. I remember telling the doctor, it's not that big of an issue in light of it all, but those little candies you get for Halloween, I can't open them. It hurts to use my pinchers and to do that. It hurts to hold my child on my hip. My arms hurt, my shoulders hurt, my neck hurts, my fingers hurt. I can feel each third of my finger. I can feel each joint. They hurt like someone has smashed them. And he tried his best to understand, and I think he may have known about fibromyalgia, but because my age was so young, it wasn't a diagnosis he wanted to jump into right away. So I went off to the bladder doctors, and I went off to the rheumatologist. And of course, you wait, 6 months to get in, and the day you get in, you're not in any pain. But anyway, I have officially gone through many doctors and got diagnoses. And in this article, he is sharing that generally you start with one ailment and another and another and another, and they're amplified. And the key reason they are very real. Endometriosis was really there. Inflammation in my bladder was really there. I needed a hysterectomy. It was really in bad shape. Those things aren't in the head. They were reality. But what happens, I'm learning, is that, and he describes it as a amplifier on an electric guitar being turned up full force, and then all of a sudden the knob breaks and it's stuck in that position. And so when something small happens to you or me, I would feel it exponentially, is that the word? Exponentially more intensified. And he said for fibromyalgia, it's like your senses, your sensory is always on full throttle. So the sounds that people make, the smells that I smell, the noises, the smells, the volume of things, the little bangs, walking, you stub your toe, all of it. It just is so intense. And that made a lot of sense to me. And that's where he was describing how people with acute illnesses, say your knee, you chipped the kneecap when you fell or something, and there was a need to be repaired in there. That acute pain, you could point to it with a finger. You can say exactly where it hurts. But with fibromyalgia, it's everything hurts. You push on any part of me and I can tell you what level of pain it hurts. And so he was sharing in this article, which I encourage you to read, that there are the pain medicines, the opiates, the things that help acute pain or possibly a flare-up of a chronic pain. But the long-term issue isn't that you need a pain medicine per se, is that you need a volume turner downer on your responses. And that's how my rheumatologist 10 years ago started me. She started me on Prozac, and she said it quiets down the nerves that are firing constantly. And I immediately found great relief. And then now, of course, these years, last 2 years, it's increased. So my current doctor has said, well, let's continue with what your rheumatologist started you on and just go up to higher doses and see how that helps. So it was really encouraging to read the article. The name of the gentleman again is Daniel J Clauw, MD, and it's Clauw for his last name. And listen to that, get an idea. It's a good overview of how we with fibromyalgia are on just that amplified, turned up. And if we can find ways physically to turn down that quiet, that level down, or we can find medically ways to lower the pain threshold and the response of our bodies, that is it's a twofold thing that goes together, and it's very beneficial to use them together. So along with your medicines, there will be techniques, resting when you have a chance to rest, not pressing too hard when you know it will make you flare up. So I learned a lot, and I was encouraged by that last night. And I am still doing my physical therapy, and I will continue to take the medicine, and we shall see if my pain level volume goes down. I'd be very excited. But I made myself stop today after I did a few things. I came outside to film thinking it was quieter than the inside where the washing machine is running. It sounds like the birds are pretty loud out here. They're telling me to refeed the bird feeder. But that is where I'm at right now. And I wish you well in your journey. And if you have any questions about fibromyalgia, chronic pain that you want to ask me, please feel free to make a comment down below. And I should be getting some orchids that will be coming in this week, so I will show you those. I wanted to do an experiment with them, see if they grown in different types of media, how well they respond. I appreciate your time. Thanks for asking how I'm doing. It means a lot. Thanks for spending time with me. I know you had a choice to do lots of stuff, and you spent a few moments with me. So thank you. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.
Me and the girl getting the barbecue going. Daddy's on his way home.
Kill the lights.
Lemon pepper chicken. Yum.
Flying high, floating somewhere up in the clouds. Going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real.
Coleslaw, corn on the cob, and some chicken.
Won't stop turning.
Yum.
So take me on a trip, trip, trip. Now trip, trip, trip. Oh, flick the switch, kill the lights. Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright.